how a sensor communicates with each other or with the environment. Those things, everything comes under electronics. We're gonna learn about these things one by one. Next is we have sensors. Okay, first thing sensors. For different applications, we have different sensors. Okay, and if we consider, you might think we can just put everything in sensors and just call it a day. We can't do stuff like that. Like this, if you consider this Tesla cars, right? So what Elon Musk's vision was not use something called lidar. He only used depth sensors here, like or a stereo sensors, which is similar to your eyes. You have two eyes, right? Even if you have one eye, you can't like perceive the world in. Now you have different kind of vision. You can't uh, perceive depth, how depth it is, how wide it is, how far it is. Those things you can't understand that point. Like I can say this guy who started wearing glasses. Like at the beginning when you start wearing glasses, it kind of feels weird for you, right? Like main thing is when you climb steps, it's kind of like a fuzzy kind of thing. How far you're going, how high you have to lift your leg to reach next step. Those things. So his vision was to only use depth sensor to for everything, and he succeeded also. But we can also use different sensors also, like lidar sensor. Okay, generally in robotics we use lidar sensors. But lidar also has its limitations now. It's not a 3D sensor. It's most lidars are 2D sensors only. Or we have or 2D sensor we can make it 3D, but it will now be like it will take up a lot of power. Like we have to use two motors and two to three sensors for that. So it now it's too complex. Those things we have to understand. For each what do you call each application, we can use a set of sensors, or we can just think more and use this set of sensors. At that point, we will be heavily reliable on software part. If you remember, there was NASA used a drone in Mars. If you know, if you remember this thing, they put it in Curiosity, I guess. They put a drone on top of it, and the most important thing was they didn't use any lidar or anything, like sorry GPS or anything to like navigate the world or navigate Mars. How did they do it was they use simple trick. If you see your mouse underneath your mouse, you will have a small red thing glowing. How do you know like when you're moving your mouse around and it's also moving in screen, right? Same technology they just scaled up. They put a camera there and they started to monitor each and every picture how it is moving, how far it is moving. So that's how they did it. I think recently DRDO or ISRO they put a competition here. I don't know if you've seen it or not. So their task was also same to use without to build a drone without a GPS system, and it should navigate the environment without GPS. It should like know which is the safe landing spots, and it should be able to land there and take off again. I think most of them failed because they were not they few only one actually used depth sensor at that point. They actually succeeded. The remaining else, I don't think they use a rudimentary only. So that's how these things are. We have a force and textile, force and touch sensor. Like let's say your weighing machine, right? Those weighing machines have something called load cell. It's like a when you see it, you won't even think it's like it's a sensor. It's like a aluminum block. That's a load sensor. It detects how much force it is applied or how much weight it is getting on. You have a orientation sensor or orientation like IMU. It's called sorry, inertia moment unit. So what it does is when you Uh, it tells you the orientation of a device. Like if you move like this, it will tell okay, the sensor, the robot or the sensor or the part has moved like this. It uses something called micro. It's a microscopic sensor, really small sensor. I'll show you picture once we get into that. Gyro is also same. It has accelerometer inside it. Light sensor. I think LDR. Someone in last class somebody was talking about LDR. These are that of photodiodes. Like when the sensor, when light turns on, like the sun or light, anything, when a light source is on, it will tell us, okay, light is on. Those things. Because a robot uses these types of sensor to know its environment. Okay, if you know how to code or know something called sensor fusion, we can eliminate a lot of sensors in here, like distance sensor, touch sensor, not touch sensor. We can also remove orientation and light sensor. Like if you use a camera with one set of RGB camera and another stereo camera, we can remove a lot of things. It will know how each and everything works, how what's the basic principle of this thing. Okay, so that's sensors, basics like basic concept of sensors. Next is actuation. We have like a lot of actuation for each part, like different things. If you remember that small remote control car used to have a DC motor inside it. The difference between a DC motor is and remaining thing is they have brushes inside it. So you open the top white cap, you will see two prongs kind of thing which that connects the shaft. Those are brushed motors. Okay, it works on PWM duty cycle. PWM duty cycle is nothing but it's like a graph. We'll get into it, but now remember 1 and 0.